Hello and welcome to another wicked gameplay video. Today we're back in X-Plane and we're looking at the latest from Carenado. This is the CT206H Stationair HD series. This is a pretty nice plane, but probably some minor issues with this plane, I think. I hadn't looked at any reviews of this plane. I just went out and purchased it and expected what I would normally get from a Carenado plane. But I think there may be a couple of bugs in this plane. I'm just going to see how we go with it. This could be just my opinion. I don't think that it's just me. Although after doing, after looking at this plane and wondering, is it just me? I went looking at some other reviews and, you know, I don't think it's just me. I mean, I don't see anyone else saying the same things, but I don't know. You see for yourself. I'm just going to show you what I experienced, and if nothing happens in this video, then fine. But I have found some things that are a bit inconsistent, and I'm just going to show you what I find, and that is it. So I'm going to take it for what it is, and we'll see how it goes. Generally, the plane is a really nice plane, and what you might expect from Carenado. Very well modeled, nice looking, textured really well, all the typical stuff you would expect from a Carenado model. Now this plane hasn't been out for very long, so maybe I'm thinking, if it's not just me, that there would be a patch coming soon, and I'm hoping that's the case. Anyway, let's move on. We'll look at the options. We'll see here we have pilot view, fuel and throttle. This is inside the cockpit, obviously. Your switches, your wing cams, tail cam, and all these work great. The co-pilot, the radios, view from the rear, wing cam on the other side, and the belly cam. And you've got a volume control here, which is pretty cool, and a pilot view here. So, okay, go back outside. The other options menu. Let's have a little look. We've got your typical static elements that Carenado provides. Here you got your witches hats and your chocks on the one, static elements. You can have fairings on and off. Actually, I might leave the fairings off. I've been using fairings a lot on aircraft, both in P3D and DNX plane where they are, and it's kind of looking pretty cool not to have them now. So that's something that's pretty cool. Let's have a look at the windshield here. Here you can see the windshield. It's kind of dark. Let's have click this and it kind of lightens up. It's a bit like the window tinting I think I've shown you on other Carenado models like the CT206H Caravan. And then inside the cabin it says the instrument reflections. Let's try and get back inside. I get confused between prepared and X-plane views, so I start clicking around in different ways. And here you can see gorgeous reflections. Like, look at that. That looks amazing. Those reflections look fantastic. Look at that. Look at those reflections. They're really, really cool. So we can turn them off, turn them on. Turning them on just gives it so much realism. So, you know, that's the type of quality you expect from a Carenado aircraft. Let's go back on the outside and let's look at what do we got here. Pilot door. Okay. I think on the other side now, we'll just duck around this other side. My GPS is on inside the plane. I'm actually in 10.3, X-plane 10.3 beta 5, version 5, so I don't believe it's that. I've looked at this plane in both 10.25 and 10.3 and experiencing similar kind of issues. And we'll get to those as we keep moving on. We also have a baggage door and the other baggage door, so you can see both of those. And look, the textures are amazing. You know, this is what Carenado is excellent at doing, and you know, I think it looks fantastic. It's not the modeling of the plane that I have an issue with. You can actually see here, look, this is the first thing. Now this isn't always here, but I see this at least in 10.3 beta. I get this kind of weird texture thing here. That's the first thing. Now it wasn't doing that before, and this is my biggest gripe, is I'm finding things happening and then not happening. Like, it's just not consistent. I'm not really sure why. I've just restarted X-plane again. Now I didn't see this in 10.2.5, so maybe it's a beta thing, I don't know, but it's not always there in 10.3, you know, beta. So that's my first thing that bothers me. This is kind of cool, the way they have these chips on the inside of the prop blade. That's the first time I've seen that on a Carenado aircraft. And if you look at a real prop on a real aircraft, general aviation, you'll see that that is the case, and you need to look on the inside of the blades for damage. We have some other planes coming through here. So, you know, look, great texturing, looks cool. I've got no issues with the textures at all. Looks fantastic. You know, look at that. You can read all that. It's clear. It's definitely an improvement on the previous Cessna. You know, I also have the 172 Skyhawk, and being an earlier model, fair enough. I can accept that the modeling and stuff probably wasn't as good at that time, but this is the latest as of right now when I'm recording this video. So I'm going to turn that off. There's the first thing. I think this has been raised already, where the master switch is off, but you can actually turn on the avionics. So that's the kind of first thing, and I actually didn't notice that myself. That I did see on someone else's review, but it was just the fact that it was on now reminded me of that. So look, other than textures, let's just move on to just trying to fly this plane and see, you know, what my issues are with it. First thing, now I don't know if you can actually hear that, but when I click, I get this clicking sound actually coming up back through my headphones. I've never seen that in a Carenado aircraft before. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, but I'm hoping you can hear that. But as I click it, I get this kind of clicking sound in my headphones, which really annoys me. That's the first thing. Okay, now I'm not going to go through a full startup procedure. I really just want to show you the plane, and you know, just the cool and the not so cool, which I'm sure Carenado is going to patch. So I don't want to be coming across like I'm bashing Carenado. That's not what I'm trying to do. All I'm trying to do is raise a few points here about this plane. To me, feels a little bit unfinished and not really what you might expect from Carenado, and I'm sure that they will patch it. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn the beacon on, and there's going to be no power, so we'll go back in and we'll just turn on some power here. So these are all cool. You know, you got the sound of the switches, all sounds great. We've got our beacon on now. That's fine. Great. Let's go now. We'll turn on our, I think that's pretty good. We can do that. Now, we're just going to go full rich. I'm not going to go with full startup procedures. So that looks fine to me. We'll just flick this switch. Let's have a look here. Now I've got my ignition set to a keybind, so we're going to start it up. Now the plane itself actually sounds okay, but I think, you know, I've got a few Carenado planes. I think this one just, that start just doesn't sound quite as nice from the turn of the key to the engine actually running. So right now it sounds okay. There you go, that's the engines. Now, maybe we can just turn this down a bit. I don't know how loud that is. Here we go, we've got this Boeing. Look at this guy. Unbelievable. We'll move on in a minute. Okay. Great. You trying to intimidate me? Hey? You think I'm intimidated? Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to put on our taxi lights, nav lights, strobes. I think we're good to go. Fuel pump doesn't make any noise, but that's fine. I don't have an issue with that. We've got our other lighting here. We'll just turn on our avionics. We've got our lighting here of the cockpit. Yeah, just park right on top of me. What's cool is these things. Yeah, they actually move. I've never seen Carenado do that before. So you can actually like flick these. Should be able to turn these on. Oh, no, it's just the way you turn it. So you can actually do that, and there you go. Right. Okay, great. So look, so far nothing really majorly wrong. Although I kind of do feel like I'm just going to move away from this Boeing here. This must be like the starting ramp. It's a bit of an issue with X-Plane. Hopefully we don't crash. Get reset. So nothing really wrong with the plane so far, except we can actually go through the Boeing. You know, it's pretty nice. Everything does what it's supposed to do in terms of the core stuff. It's the little things. Let's look at the steering here. That was actually brought up in another video. I hadn't even noticed that, and to be honest, that doesn't even bother me that much. It's kind of weird, but you know, look, I can live with that. Like, okay, let's stop here. We'll see if we can do a bit of. You're gonna stop? Can't remember where my brakes were set. Set my brakes. There we go. Stopped. Alright. So, I don't know if it's just me, but the volume inside the cabin seems much louder than... It seems the opposite of what you would normally get. Like normally you come outside and it's really loud, and you go inside the cabin and it's much quieter, but it seems like the sounds are reversed, like it's much louder inside than what it is outside. I'll go zoom in. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe, yeah, it's just me. That's my first impression. Come in here, it's quite loud compared to outside. But, okay, that's fine. Let's have a little look. Now, we've got our taxi lights on, and if we look here, we can actually see it is all on. Now, one thing I did find is some issues with the night lighting. Now, we'll see if it's going to do it now. It doesn't always do it. We're going to date and time. We'll set it to, so it's night time. And here we are in the cockpit here. Get some lighting going in here, so here we go. That's fine, I'm alright with that. Let's get this going again. Struggling to find the lighting. Okay, so let's get some floodlights and stuff going here. Alright, so that's fine. Okay, great, fantastic. Turn this lighting on. Okay, so that's fine. But then, I get outside, and what is going on with the lights? Like, it's here. You can see the taxi light's on. But for whatever reason, it's not showing on the ground. Let's turn on landing lights. Still can't see a thing. No lighting. Landing lights on. Nothing on the ground. I just don't know what that's all about. I think that's really my main thing, is that those lights just don't work all the time. Now, there has been occasions where they have worked. I've done a fly around, and like in a pattern, and the lights were working when I left, and when I landed they weren't working any further. That could be a beta thing. I haven't actually tested the lighting in 10.2.5, but this is what's happening here. Okay, let's go back into the plane. Settings. Oh no, that's not what I was doing. Got landing lights, got strobes, all that's on. Even the strobes don't look like they're working. No. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to reload this plane. Aircraft, open. Stationair. Let's open. We'll reload this plane. Okay, so we're back. We've reloaded the plane. Okay, what I'm going to do is, you can see there's something really weird happening right now, and this has happened a few times as well. Let's get some daylight going again. Now, I don't know what the hell that's all about, but this has happened quite a few times when I reload the plane. Okay, so we have this kind of weird sound. Now I don't believe that this is due to 10.3 beta. I don't believe that that's the case. Personally, I think it's the plane. I may be wrong. We're going to go actually and test this in 10.2.5 and see if it does the same thing. So okay, we're going to start the aircraft. Let's turn the power on here. So we're starting that up again. You can still hear that sound running underneath. Okay, that was just me starting the ignition again, so that's fine. Okay. Okay, so we're back. I've reloaded the aircraft, and let's have a little look. This is with the original ACF file that's not for 10.3 beta. As you can see, we've got the two 430 GPS systems from Garmin instead of the 530. So let's just have a look. I've still got this weird clicking sound. I'm going to turn this on. Let's try this for a second. So this doesn't actually turn the avionics on with the 430, so that works as it's supposed to. Turn our strobe on and start the plane. Let's try that again. There we go. It's weird sounds the way it works. Okay, so I noticed also typically Carenado has the sound coming through the windows. It's not doing that in this case either. The sound doesn't change. I'm not really sure why they didn't do it on this one, but kind of a nice feature. Not a big deal. I can live without that too. Now let's try some night stuff going on. Turn our taxi, nav, strobes, beacon. Oh, let's turn our landing lights just to see what it's going to look like. We'll also turn our lighting on so we can see, and we'll switch the date and time to night again. Okay. And as you can see, still no lighting on the outside. Very, very strange. I just don't know what that's all about. Very, very strange. I don't know. All I know is it has worked, I think, once, and that's really my main beef. Is essentially the plane is unfinished. Well, it seems to be, at least for me. If you have this plane and you don't have these same problems, please let me know. It may be that I had a corrupt download, something like that. But anyway, sorry to bring a little bit of bad news. I really like Carenado aircraft, and I was, let's just say, disappointed is a little bit of an understatement, because I was really looking forward to enjoying this aircraft. So as far as daytime goes, it actually is pretty cool, except for some of those weird sort of glitchy things with the sounds and that sort of thing. I'm hoping Carenado brings an update. Let me know what you think. If you have the aircraft, like I said, please let me know in the comments whether you are experiencing these same things. If you're from Carenado, feel free to leave a comment, send me an email through my messaging. Just message me through YouTube, and I'll be happy to respond. Like I said, this is not about bashing Carenado, but I just wanted to raise these issues and what I'm actually seeing. I'm also going to test this in 10.2.5, and I'm not going to do a video on that, but if it is different, then you won't be seeing this video on YouTube. Okay guys, if you like this video, I know it's a little bit of a letdown video. I was hoping to have a great experience with this plane, but anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos of X-Plane, Prepared, and other games, please subscribe, and I appreciate everyone who supports the channel. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.